Do over don't, baby. You already know how it goes. We here live. Y'all vote for Do Over Don't, Boston Music Awards. I'll be there, man. Vote don't go hard. We working, man. We working.
Paint this picture for you. Put this in your head. You can get the call that your closest loved one dead. Yeah. This is Boston Summers back in 94. Gang wars, crack babies born premature. This is 96 Vegas, baby lane. This that white Cadillac.
What's good, Do Over Don't? Purple World. I got my headphone cup off. I gotta fix that. That felt awkward as shit. But Purple World, episode 83. Today we got a guest. I was just telling him off camera. Been recommended for a while, and everyone's specifically been recommending me. One, because you had that project in August. That was fire.
Yeah,
it was August, right?
August, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You had that project August, but everybody's always like, this dude got a crazy story, bro. This dude got a crazy story. Everyone's always saying that. But you've been recommended crazy. You've been making a lot of noise, too. I feel like this year I've been seeing your name a lot. I feel like I started seeing your name. But Mr. EXITFAME,
yes,
we
sir.
got you
Yes,
on the
sir.
pod today.
Do Over Don't, baby. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Am I looking at a camera or just at you?
Either one. It's up to you. That camera, if you're going to look at one, it's that one on the right there.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
All right, so we just having dialogue.
Yeah. But what's good, bro? How's everything been?
Good, man. God is working, man. It's just on this grind, man, on this journey. 2023 has really been a year of finding who I am as an artist. You think you know who you are as an artist, or you think you know who you are as a creator. And when you start really getting, there's levels to it. And when you start getting really into it, and maybe some things are working out for you, some things are not working out for you, you start getting, it's kind of like you're driving on the road. You start getting indications and signs and pointing you in the right direction of where you're supposed to go. And if you're humble enough and you're open-minded and can take constructive criticism, you can get the jewels out of that kind of stuff. And that's what this year has been for me, 2023. It's been a direction year. So, yeah.
So that's why you've been popping up so much, figuring that stuff out.
I don't know. For me, it don't seem, on my end, it doesn't seem like, my end, I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface, and I got to put in the work to try to get to those levels and those achievements, Yeah.
You've been popping up a lot, though. You've been popping up a lot. Like, I
feel like
out of artists that, I feel like there's always artists that are working in the background, and then before they have, like, their time, you have that period that everyone's talking about them, and you're like, why have you heard this person's name so much? This year, you've been one of those people that I feel like I've just been hearing your name a ton.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit with
people
that. Maybe I'm tripping.
People say that, and I guess it's what you gauge accomplishment or success off of, or what you're looking at. So mine's a goal oriented. Being in the rooms that I'm in and being around the people that I'm in. That sounded crazy. That sounded crazy. But being around the people that I'm around and seeing the things that they're doing. Yeah, for me, I'm barely scratching the surface, bro. So. Thank you to anybody that, mentions me or because I appreciate it all. I engage with anybody that shows love. Even the haters, I engage with them too, because it's, that's just who I am. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but yeah, man, I'm just very humble in the position, but just hungry and dedicated. Yeah, that's what it's really about for me.
So for everybody that hasn't watched an interview from you, everyone that is in the same position that I was, where they just been hearing your name, they might have heard your music, but they don't know you. Who is EXITFAME?
EXITFAME is a man from Boston, Roxbury, Dorchester. My street's the borderline right there on Fayston Street. If you're from Boston, you know what that is. And just a person that I can actually say, and not glorifying or trying to sound cool or cute. I've really been in the fire. I've really walked in the fire. I came from circumstances that a lot of people don't come back from, or would break some people, and that's that glory goes all to God. And what Exit Fame is just a representation of the harsh realities that we live in. You would say, if you listen to my music, some would say it's it could be hypocritical, like kind of like what Tupac would do. You would get a Dear Mama, then you would get a Hit 'Em Up. I'm probably in the means of those lanes, but ultimately, I'm just here to show what God could do with someone from the absolute bottom, and just trying to give hope to those people that were in those positions, you know, on drugs, in prisons, you know, broke, you know what I mean, like in those situations. So I don't know if there was a word to define Exit Fame, I guess it's hope. You know, yeah.
It's like the Superman symbol.
That's what that means. The Superman.
Yeah.
It means hope.
Yeah.
And I was more of a Marvel guy, but I rock with. I've been watching, you know, Justice League stuff, and I was like, he was alright. Because me and my nephew,
all the new DC shit was booty. All the new DC shit, except the new Batman. I don't know if you saw the one with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
That shit was fire. That shit was.
I mean, Dark Knight Rises is good.
You don't fuck with that one though?
No, I mean that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite one out of all of them
is
either Dark Knight Rises or what's the dude that played Joker?
Dark Knight.
No, the movie
just
Joker.
Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, that one. That shit was that. Okay, I forgot about that. And Batman were fire. But they were completely separate. How Marvel has the big ass universe, DC has like 3 universes. So both the Batman and that Joker shit are completely seperate from the rest of the DC.
See, I'm biased because I grew up watching Marvel, so I automatically go to Wolverine in my, you know what I mean, like. But just as of lately, and shout out my nephew, Chris Brook. I was watching a couple of the Justice Leagues, and I was like, it makes sense. I get it. I get it.
It ain't no Avengers though.
Nah,
it ain't no.
Who wins, Justice League or Avengers?
Avengers, bro. Avengers all the way.
If you Google it, I Googled it because I was like having these debates in my own head. Google says Justice League. I was like, because of Superman, that's why.
They do have Superman. I was literally just about to say that.
Because of him.
Bro, when these studios get dried out from making the superhero bag, which is already happening now, there's going to be a day we get a Marvel versus DC movie, and that shit is going to be fire as fuck. Right. That's when they're about to go bankrupt, though. Dead ass, bro. Talk about movies. What are your other forms of entertainment? Or is music like basically the sole form of entertainment?
Oh yeah, man. I listen to all forms of music. I listen to all of it. Anything. I think that's just my soul is just off that. Gospel music, R&B music, country music. The stories, man. It's the stories and you know, it's just all of those types of music. But yeah, music is definitely that. I mean, I like watching sports. I don't know. I guess animals. You know what I mean?
Really?
I like animals. I like nature. I like the National Geographic stuff. That's very entertaining for me. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's random. National Geographic and animals.
Everybody likes National Geographic. Everybody.
I was grilled the other day and I was watching it and I was like, yo, this shit.
I seen these people on a safari and they had like a lion run up right inside their little safari cart and it was like hugging them and everything. I was like, I don't know if I could do that.
That shit is scary. That shit is scary right there.
Right, I don't know if I could do that.
That shit is scary, bro. You got any pets?
My daughter got one. We got one cat in the house.
One cat, no dog.
I had a dog before, but last year I had a husky. I didn't realize, like, with my schedule and my time, if you don't have enough time for a dog and you don't have that time to, like, put into it, like, it will turn your house into outside.
Jesus Christ. Bro.
Yeah, so we ended up getting a nice little spot for the dog on a farm and everything. So, yeah. She's cooling, I guess.
Taking care of a dog is a lot of work, bro. Whenever people try and like are telling me about the shit you have to do, I'm like, I'm so happy I don't have one. Dead ass, bro. Dead ass. Talking about having a kid though, how I love asking people this. What was the impact of that on your life?
On my life?
Yeah, having a kid. Like, if you could go back before.
So I got 3.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a daughter in college.
Oh, so you've had kids for a while.
Yeah, I got a daughter in college. I got a 9-year-old and I got a 4-year-old. 2 girls, 1 boy. All different baby mamas.
Damn.
How would I say? Each one of my kids came at a different point in my life, and because of the raw story, back to the realness, it gets my story. It can't go away from not getting heavy, but my kids were made out of probably, how would I say it without, because I love my children, I love my kids, but in the frame of mind that I was in the state that I was in life and where I was at, I would definitely say I was not the person that should have been having children at those times. So when my kids were born into this world, because of my poor decisions and poor choices, I was absent for a lot of it. And acclimating in their lives now, and it's a slow process. You just don't pop back up and be like, this is what it is. It's like, it's almost becoming a friend and being that person that they can be, they can feel when they call you that you're there, supportive and unconditional, and you end up becoming that person, kind of like we were just talking. You end up becoming that person who's their version of Superman. You know what I mean? It's like when I call him, that's because shit's going bad, or this needs to get done, or money needs to be done for this, or stuff like that. And with my 4-year-old, that changed. My son, and this is, you know what I mean, no shade to my 2 daughters, because, you know what I mean, you're a part of my life, but life hit me in the face. You know what I mean, George Foreman hit in 2019 on my sobriety date. My son, I got clean on August 3rd. My son was born August 11th. And it definitely changed the way I looked at life, and realizing this thing that we have called legacy and leaving something behind. And yeah, man, it's because just like I got trauma and I got stuff that I deal with, a lot of that stuff is, and I've had, my parents are great, but because of things that people go through at certain times in their life, in the way that they react to life, they not be 100% present for their children. So they're dealing with life, and they're going through new experiences because their parents didn't teach them how to deal with this. So they're going through it, and they don't know. So it's just a cycle. So that's where it ended up happening with me. And now being this person, I got like 50 months of being a real adult, being a citizen in the community, and being a dad. I got 50 months of the first time in my life being productive and doing this. So it's been a journey, and at this point, I would define it as being uphill. But it definitely changed my life. My son's situation, it made me get on the right path. Yeah,
that's fire, bro. Salute to you, dog. Salute to you. Like, I'm dead ass, even though I just met you in person 20 minutes ago, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Hearing your story, and then hearing how you had the kid, and that was kind of a shifting moment for it.
Yeah, definitely, man. And he's a miracle baby, you know what I mean? For the people that know my story, in August 2019, me and his mom were on a relapse and using every drug under the sun, you know what I mean, while she was 9 months pregnant and handcuffed to a bed. And I was at a program. I had, like I told you, I was, you know what I mean, August 3rd was my sobriety date, and they had these people come in and show a tape of babies born with withdrawals and all that. And I just didn't want that for my son. And I ended up making probably the most serious prayer that I ever had in my life. And I couldn't be there when he was born. His mother was sectioned, and I was in a program, and I couldn't even communicate because of the way the situation was. But August 11th, how do you say it, against all odds for him, he was born completely healthy. He didn't need methadone. He didn't need these treatments that babies do it. And I kind of felt like that was God telling me, I did my part, now you do yours. And from that month, man, I've been on this journey, and I haven't done everything perfect, but there's a couple of things that I haven't done since August 2019. So, and that is dedicated to that shift. And I guess you would define that as my rock bottom moment in life, because I was fucked up in the game, you know. Yeah.
Turned around.
Yeah.
Turned around, bro.
Yeah.
Turned around. For somebody, I know you didn't tell them your full story, but everything I've heard and as I'm hearing throughout this podcast, and I did say it to you at the beginning, you seem like such a uppity dude. Like, even right now, you're talking about some real ass shit that's probably traumatizing you, and you just like still seem so up-spirited. What's good, y'all? Thank y'all for tuning in The Purple World. Just a reminder, we got a fresh studio over here. If you guys want to book a studio session, our rates start at $50 an hour with an engineer, $25 an hour with no engineer. Rates do vary depending on which engineer you choose. You can book a session by heading over to the Book Now button in our Instagram bio and book through Square. You can shoot us a DM to figure out what time slot you want, as well as which engineer you want to work with. As a test to see who our loyal viewers are and see who's really rocking with us, if you made it through this whole ad, you could head over to our Square website and you could put code POD10 and that's going to give you 10% off your session. One time use though, you are not able to use that again, so use it wisely. Back to the episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe.
I mean, life's not perfect, but I can only imagine, you know, and I'm not like I'm not like trying to make it seem like I'm him or nothing like that, but I can only imagine if we could like really like reach down in hell and take somebody out of there and put them here and allow them to get Burger King and allow them to, you know what I mean, go swimming and allow them to go to church and stuff like that. And they was there so long in like the real hell, like what we hear in our mind, like the thing that's painted of hell, and we got them out of there and they took it. I don't think there ain't too much that can fuck with them. You know what I mean? It's like gratitude is just, they're just grateful. Like, and I think that's just a piece of it. You know, what is that? Hold on, that's crazy. Yeah, I do the recovery stuff, but yeah, it's like no God, no peace, and it was like no God, no peace. And it's like, if you know God, you got peace. Like, he really revealed himself in my life, and I have that peace. But if you ain't got no God, you ain't got no peace. Like, you're operating off sheer will. So for me, it's like, I know I'm in good hands now. And I control probably what I invite into my life. I control my peace. Like, if I don't know. I'm in a good place where it's just like, you know, I deal with my stuff. I got an 18-year-old daughter. So for y'all the parents of teenagers, y'all know what that is, you know. So I deal with my stuff. I go through things, and but being in recovery, having gratitude, and 50 months ago, from being in a crack house, and 50 months forward, and I'm in a professional place like this with you guys. I'm doing all right. You know, I'm doing all right, you know? Bro. So it's like, I got to be happy about that, you know?
I can't give you enough props, bro. I can't give you enough props. When did religion come into your life, though? Because you seem like a very faithful man. Not
religious. I suck at that.
Yeah.
I suck at that. Yeah, I'm faithful and spiritual. I got a cheat. I definitely had an advantage. I had a home code advantage, cheat code, whatever you want. And thank God to my mother and, you know, even my father too, and the family that I come from. I came from the church. I came from I was baptized at 5 years old. You know what I mean? Like I was in the choir. I was an usher. You know what I mean? Like I lived in the. I don't want to say. I lived there, but this church has always been a factor in my life. Like, it's always been there.
Damn.
So I just went away, you know what I mean? God didn't leave me, I left him. You know what I mean? That was how that worked out.
I was going to ask you about all the projects having a God theme to it. But before that, when did the music come into the picture?
Oh, man. I mean, I wrote my first rap at 8 years old.
Goddamn.
I was talking with DJ E Double about that. I fell in love with hip hop. Joe, what the hell is their name? Joe Public. I might be saying their name wrong. It's an old, but like you got to live and learn. Like, but Crisscross, Snoop Dogg, like NWA, you know, the Christmas song by Run DMC. Like if anything, I'm religious about. Hip hop is my religion. Like we can have all genres. I listen to even the new ones today, all the younger rappers and everything like that. I'm in tune to everything of it. But yeah, I wrote my first rap like around like 8 years old. But it I think it's always been an outlet for me to write. I liked seeing people with my skin color or people with my background or people that seeming like I can relate to getting praised, because I wasn't really good at sports and shit like that, you know what I mean? So I tried, but this was my thing. Like the music was my stuff, and then falling in love with Tupac Shakur at like 13. And then it just kept going, man. Yeah, maybe I might be off with that timeline. It might be 11, 12-ish. Yeah, like around there, 11, 12, 13, falling in love with Tupac, because I remember when he died and everything like that. But and then it just turned into the New York music scene as I was shifting and going into middle school, you know, like the Mobb Deeps and the Loxes and, you know, studying, you know what I mean, all those type of music, because that's what I was actually doing. I started meeting different type of people in my life. So I always listen to what I'm living. Like that's always what hit me the most when I was younger. That's how it was for me. And I just always been rapping. And then unfortunately, due to bad choices, and I would definitely say I'm a kid. I'm so influenced by hip hop. I started living what I was listening to. So I found myself in DYS in detention a lot, catching my first cases at 13, 14 years old, and stealing, doing stupid stuff, robbing cab stands, doing stuff like that. Be definitely influenced by the neighborhood, and almost finding glory in it, because I'm, you know, with hip hop. That's how much hip hop influenced me. Definitely a follower, and I ended up doing like some serious stuff. I ended up doing a lot of time. I had a friend named Winner at that time, still my friend to this day, and there was like a big scene. This is when Boston hip hop was like, I mean, it was always there. You got the RSO days, Benzino and Hangman and all that, like Wise Guys. That was always there. Big Suge, Gangstar, and all those kind of guys. But then it was like this new era when kind of like when DMX and Rough Riders and all that kind of stuff happened. We had Triple Threat and Smoke Bulger and Last Days. If I'm forgetting everybody, forgive me. But we had this renaissance in the Boston music scene, and I got to be around people like Triple Threat from my friend Winner, and seeing these people and seeing what a show was. And I remember, I don't know if anybody remembers Lex Get It On, you know what I mean? He was like a spitter, shout out Lex. And I remember Peter Parker and Clinton Sparks, you know what I mean? My first battles, and I still remember I lost in the second round to this guy in Fenway, this white dude with carrot top hair, and he destroyed me rapping. Like, it was crazy. Like, yeah, that was like the evolution. And then Fame Flint came around. I became Fame Flint when I came home from prison again, and we started getting it shaking, man. We started like moving with it. We started guerrilla. What's that word? When you're there's a word that I'm missing, but
guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla marketing, like. Social media wasn't what it is now. Like, this is when Instagram, all you could do was post one picture at a time. Like, there was no videos, you know what I mean? There wasn't anything like that. And it was guerrilla marketing, like flyers and going to the festival and lighting the whole Blue Hill Ave up with it, and taking trips and coast-to-coast mixtapes and all of these things, going to Miami, going to Los Angeles, competing with people, meeting with people. And and then Lou Armstrong, Millie's, Smoke Bolger around that time, Last Days, doing the shows with all of these people and being around people like when Lil Durk had a haircut, you know what I mean? When he was coming around and all that, French Montana. This was those days, and we had definitely a movement, and it was me and Winner. We called it Tax Free. It was going, man. Like, we had a thing going in the Boston scene. Anybody who was around then definitely knew who we was. And unfortunately, living and going through what living does, my father ended up dying, and I went into a dark place, man. And I disappeared from music for about 7 or 8 years. Yeah, it was about 7 or 8 years. And like we was talking about with my sobriety date, 2019, August, that's when I came back into it. And, when you're living, when you're out there smoking crack and doing dope and robbing people and all that, you probably just got like a regular little track phone. You don't even have like a phone. So I wasn't even in tune with the internet. But when my life came back and I got sober and life started coming back to me, getting closer with God, also my dreams started coming back to me. And even when I was going through all that, I was always writing. People used to give me crack just to rap. You know what I mean? Like, that's a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. Like, they would do stuff like that. And even when I was in those treatment programs, shout out all the programs that, you know what I mean, looked after me and brought me in and showed me the way of life to become a man in society. I was always writing. I turned my little room inside a program into like my own little studio. I had my own speakers and things set up so I can record myself. And EXITFAME was born, man. And I've always been Fame. I always been Fame from Faceton. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? Maybe people always seen that I liked attention from people. There's probably a lot of depth to that name why I have it. But that ended up turning into Fame Flint. And then it was like, if you're going to do this rap thing and you're going to try to come back, like, the worst thing you can do in this culture, in this religion of hip-hop that we live in, quote unquote, the do's and the don'ts, you definitely can't be a crackhead. You definitely can't be a drug addict. You definitely can't be a bad father. Like you can't be broke, a fiend that you see on Mass Ave or Blue Hill Ave, like strung out. The things that we do to, you sell your morals and your principles and your dignity. Like, all those things are gone. How do you come back from that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you bounce back from that? So I was in that halfway house. Like I told you, with music, I listened to everything. And at that time, a heavy influence on me was XXXTentacion.
Bro, I don't want to cut you off. I'm a diehard X fan. The past 3 or 4 podcasts, everyone has said that he's their biggest influence. Keep talking. My bad. But
well, for me, I was in a dark place, and his music at that time, being in those programs, even when I would relapse, like, he also, what's that word? I would say he's a pioneer and an engineer of the sound we have today.
100%.
The depression music, like, it's like almost like you got drill rap, you got depression rap. You know what I mean? Like, I want to kill myself. But not to, I mean, it's, in the end of the day, these younger artists, and what he was doing was expressing himself in an unorthodox way that was a different evolution of hip hop. And being the age that I was, and understanding that hip hop is a young man's game. Hip hop's a young man's game, but it's a grown man business. And with him, he was a part of the reason why the X and what the X means, and exit, like, you know what I mean? Like, leaving something. And I had to leave some things behind, but at the same time, people ain't gonna really receive you trying to come back after, you know what I mean? And everybody knows, you know what I mean? Or so I thought, you know what I mean? Some people were like, I had no idea you was on drugs. I was like, You know, I was like, I had no idea you didn't know. But to come back from something like that and have this hip hop community that is so judgmental and they critique you so much, how do you come back? I had to wear my truth on my sleeve. And Eminem, you know what I mean? 8 Mile is such a huge piece of creating Exit Fame because he took his lowest moments and he used it as his strength in a rap battle to win. And I remember being in that program, watching that, and I was like, this is what I got to do. So when it first started coming out, I was just telling people everything that is happening. I was just like, this is what I was doing. This is who I was. This is what was going on. I became so vulnerable on these booths. And my brother, Unk Danger, he was alive at the time. He was paying for studio time for me with All Rhymes up there in Brockton. And I was just spilling my soul. And then, you know, like, and it's crazy because you see a lot of artists, like, their Instagrams are all cleaned up. You know, they got like 4 posts. I wasn't hip to that. So my whole story, if you can scroll to the beginning of Exit Fame, the whole story is there on my Instagram. From Fame Flint, the rise, the fall of Fame Flint, the drug days, the fucked up days. You can see the periods of time when I was doing jail and I disappeared and then I came back. The moments, each of my kids born, you can watch it all on my like you can see everything. And I was like, I'm not erasing that shit. You know, it was like just to keep up with people. Like, I only want 4 posts. I was like, I get it. I was like, but that's like 4,000 posts. And I was like, it ain't happening. But the whole story's there. And when I came back, it was like, all right. And then seeing a person like that I did records with. And that was an equal at the time, a person like Millie's, you know, and seeing, I go to these things and I'm looking at him. And this is a person that I used to kick it with. I got music with as Fame Flint. And I'm like, look at this motherfucker. And it hit me in the chest. And there's a few other artists too, you know what I mean, that have been doing their things and took off, like Smoke Boja, like, you know, I hate name dropping because I always feel like I forget somebody, but there was a couple more too, man. But seeing these people, it was like, yo, if you would have stayed consistent and stayed focused and didn't get high and start doing the shit you was doing, Lord knows where you would be. But that's not what God wanted for me. But that's how I felt when I seen it, and it was so, I didn't look at it, I've never been a hater. Never been a hater. I've always been a supporter and a very good dude on the terms of that. Maybe some would argue different. But it motivated me to that point. So back to the reason with Eminem and XXXTentacion and seeing people like Millie's and Smoke Bolgers and all these people still doing what I wanted to do. And it was like, you add the recovery piece in and add that gratitude of where I was in life and my son being healthy and clean. And it was like another huge thing happened to me. My warrants got cleared and I got probation and they allowed me to be in this program. I was like, I got a second shot, probably an 80th shot at life. And I'm not going to fuck this one up. But how do you come back? I'm going to get vulnerable on these records like I told you. I'm going to show the world what God was doing for me, man. And Exit Fame, it became, I'm always Fame. That's my nickname from the streets. But I used to be Fame Flint. But I got to exit that because that fame shit, and I still get caught up in this to this day. I want the likes. I want the popularity. I want to be in the, you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff, the lights, the glitter, and the glam. But in all reality, that's all my ego. And that's what recovery taught me. So it's like, I just need to be Eric. So the exit is exit. It's just to remind me, Exit Fame. I exit me to enter myself, you know what I mean? And it was like, so I'm going to be Exit Fame. And it's just every time I see my own name, a reminder, just be Eric. And I still battle with that, you know, making music and being a creative. And that's why I said in the beginning of this, 2023 has been a year of direction, finding where I'm supposed to be going with this music. That was a long answer. My fault.
Nah, you're good, bro. Talk as much as you want.
Right.
Talk as much as you want. Do not feel like you're talking too much at all.
Right,
bro.
right.
Do not feel like you're talking too much. But damn, what is it? Because it sounds like you've been in the scene for a minute, like just overall, like music scene in general.
Yeah.
What's the transition been like from when Instagram came out? How you were talking about one post to now it's like Instagram, TikTok, all this shit. Because you firsthand watched the whole entire shift.
What's the question again?
Just the whole shift of how everything has been marketing wise and shit. Because I don't know if you're saying you were like 13 when Tupac died, you saw like the whole CD era, everything.
Oh yeah, I had CDs. You know, like I did all that. Well, I mean, it's probably just like the caveman that had to rub stones together to get fire. Like in him seeing a lighter, it's like, look how far we've come. And it's only going to keep evolving. You know what I mean? And it's like evolve or die. I see people talking about For All the Dogs, Drake's album. And people, my peers, or like the Joe Budden's podcast, and there's people trying to say, you should be rapping for the grown people and the people. And it's like, you should be evolving. You know what I mean? Like, you should be evolving. Never critique a man's art and stuff like that. So it's like, it's just the evolution of what's going on, and watching, just like when you watch like cartoons or things about the future or little movies, and it's like, remember, I don't know if you're a South Park dude.
I watched South Park.
Remember that day? It was like, they took our jobs. Remember that shit?
I don't remember that episode.
Remember the things would come down, the robots and shit, and it was like, everything is taking somebody's job.
I think I do, but I haven't watched South Park in so long.
Yeah.
I forgot about South Park until you just said that shit.
But anyway, the episode I'm talking about was some funny shit. But it's like TikTok, Instagram probably took 50% of people's jobs in the music industry. Finding artists, discovering them. TikTok is the new A&R. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't got to pay people to go find talent. I could just hashtag Boston rapper, and all these motherfuckers will pop up. And I could just scroll and find them. You know what I mean? Like, it's because it's made competition more steep. It's like, and that's a part of me finding my direction. It's like, because I'm a rapper, and I like the hip hop scene and the legends and all that kind of stuff, and you want to be known for that, but what you want and what God wants for you sometimes are two different things. And it's like, that's where I'm at right now with it. It's like, there's a million people doing that. What are the odds that you're going to stand out from that? But this little lane you got, ain't too many doing this. You know what I mean? And it's like, you got to make a choice for yourself and understand the marketing. If you're really trying to do this as an artist, you're trying to market. And just like, let's take it all the way back to August 11th, 2019, when God gave me my miracle, and I felt like he said, I did my part, now you do yours. It's probably my part. Not probably, it is a piece of me doing my part is showing the world what he can do with somebody like that. And then that falls into the whole ego thing. That goes into the whole caring what people think about it. Because I'm an artist. I'm sensitive to people what they say about you. And just now, it's so crazy that we're doing this podcast, because I can see the shift where I'm getting comfortable with a hater saying something crazy. Like, I just on my way here, I'm looking at this nut say something crazy about me with Joyner Lucas, and I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
just laughing it off.
Yeah, but it's like, it's probably like a million rappers who you ain't saying nothing about. So I'm doing something, you know what I mean? So it's like that perspective switch, but caring so much to the point that it can handicap your craft or stop you from making the music that's actually going to make you stand out from that millions of people. And that's what this year has been about for me, finding that actual comfortableness of, this is my lane. you know. And shout out Almighty and this kid Armani. He's a clothing designer. He's an artist. He wears many hats. And I've been talking with him too, man. And ultimately, man, what we're here to do is show God, like show people who God is, and that it's not some picture of some guy with long hair on a stainless glass. It's like God is in you. You know what I mean? He loves us and he wants the best for us. And I think that's what comes when you see me, that spirit. It's like, I know I'm in good hands, so it's up to me to execute that the right way. So if that answers that question with that evolving and watching how it changed, it's like, if I had to define it in one word, all of that was necessary, because that's what we're going through. It's evolution.
Talking about evolution, your whole little, is it a mixtape series, album series? What do you refer to it as?
So I realized that what we call an album as local artists, what we call an album, just like what we call a freestyle. Sadly, and I'll keep it on me. I'm mistaken. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say for everybody. Eric, EXITFAME. Those were not albums. Those were your own in-depth mixtapes. I didn't realize that. You know what I mean? Like you'll see an artist, Lil Wayne, he's on his 11th studio album. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any studio albums. We could play pretend all you want, you know, keeping it on me. That's not an album. That was a, so an EP is like a short thing. So would an LP and an album be the same thing? Is that the same thing?
I think so.
Is it?
I think, yeah.
So I don't know what it's called, because a mixtape, you would have other people's beats on something. So it's like,
just projects, we'll call it.
Project. I like the word project, because I put money into like my beats, and I'm paying the producers, I'm paying for the studio time, I'm paying for this thing, so I'm paying for that. So I would actually say maybe I'm working on my first album right now.
Damn.
Maybe that's, and that, shout out Mel Go Hard. She's nominated with you guys. Yep. And Mel Go Hard, this is the first project, Exit Hell, that it's all original production. It's all, like, there is no YouTube lease beats, you know what I mean? Because I'm a YouTube beat leaser. Talking with guys like my dude 8-Zip, you know what I mean? He got me shifting from that, finding my own sound. Like I told you, 2023 has been about direction. And yeah, so I'm gonna ask Mel about that. I don't know if this qualifies as a an album yet, or do you have to be with a record label to put out an album? Like, what defines an album? Like, what
I don't even know. It's such a slippery slope. It's like, it doesn't even make sense to me. It doesn't even really make sense to me. But
I understand the EP concept.
Yeah, that I do.
I understand that, because before I exit, I'm doing it, my first EP with somebody. Yeah, you know. So I don't know what makes an album. So
I think
so. Let's call them "May God Be With You." We'll call them "May God Be With You." We won't call them mixtapes. We'll call them projects. Yeah, but we'll leave it at that.
I think even how Millie's said he's dropping Holy Water. Isn't he's saying that's his first album technically, and he's saying all of the Blancos were like tapes?
I'm gonna ask him.
I swore he posted something about that on his story. Unless I'm tripping, he's like, y'all are finally getting the album. And it's like, if all the Blancos weren't the album, I can't expect what the fuck this
What's your
shit
favorite
is gonna
Blanco?
Be. I don't know, bro. It's just like every year they come out and then they just end up bumping whichever one comes out.
I think 4 is the best one. People argue with me. 4 is the best Blanco.
Was that the one with the first Herbo feature on it?
It could have been the first, maybe not, but it's with the Benny Butcher song on it.
Yeah, that's the one.
You know what I mean? It's Hopeless is on there. That's him and Jada. That's him and Jada's best song, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Pop 4 is the best. But are those albums? Or are they projects?
I don't know. I thought they were albums up
People
until
help
he
us.
posted that.
What is the difference between
Bro,
an album and a project?
so confusing.
Where's the camera? I'm gonna help us. What makes the difference?
Bro.
Because I would call those albums.
I did too until he literally posted saying Holy Water is the album. But and I swore he said something. Bro, I'm the worst media person ever because I should have fucking screenshotted this shit. But I swear he posted something and he was like, these were all projects. This is the album. Like, I swear he posted some shit about that.
That's interesting.
I'm confused because if Blancos aren't albums, then I don't know.
So it makes an album. That's all I'm trying to say.
I'm so confused by it too. Because, like, all of those, they're pretty cohesive. Like, I don't know. Like, the way you said, I thought they were albums too, but
I thought my May God Be With You series was albums.
Bro.
They're projects.
It's so confusing, dude. I think the main thing, honestly, what you just said about the, like, production from nothing type shit. I think if you do the production from nothing, like marketing, all of that, everything from scratch, that's like an album. I don't know.
And then they got these titles. It's an independent album.
Yeah. Like, this shit's too confusing, bro. All this label shit,
It's an independent
bro.
album. Like,
Dude.
what makes an album? That's funny.
Bro,
I'm going to look into
all
that,
this
though.
label shit,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm going to look into that.
I know. Fucking, what I was saying before, though, because you were talking about progression and growth, you got 4 of the projects out right now.
Well, 4 projects with 2 deluxes. So it's 6, really. Because each deluxe, I gave you like an extra 6 or 7 songs on there. And that's counted as an EP. So I put an EP into the project.
Bro, but overall, with those 4 projects, how do you feel like your growth has been? Like, every time you drop one.
I'm going to be honest. This is for myself. I'm ask people who are around me, man. I'm very harsh on myself. I'll be into it the whole time I'm making it. I love it, you know. And then it'll come out. I'll be like, man, this shit sucks. Like, I'm hard on myself like that. But it's my series. And on the way to New York yesterday, EXITFAME has. I got a mixtape with. This is a mixtape. This is a real mixtape. I got a mixtape with DJ Chubby Chub.
Damn.
And I got the economic relief tape. And those are mixtapes. So under EXITFAME, it's the 6 projects and 3 mixtapes. And then I did a compilation with I had a little team. We did a compilation. So it's almost 10 projects under EXITFAME. When we was listening to it yesterday, and it was like, damn, I gotta find a way to put this on DSPs, because just like we go back when we was just talking about my Instagram not being erased and being all professional, you can go back to the beginning of EXITFAME all the way to Via Con Dios. Just it's all so, the music is so transparent and so real. I can see my growth. I can see how my etiquette got better in the studio, my beat selection, my professionalism. And it's a roadmap to being that artist that I'm supposed to be, that God wants me to be. So I'm proud of it. I don't like it all, but I'm proud of it. You know what I mean? I'm proud of it. So not bad for a drug addict, you know?
With me, I fucking hate taking piss breaks. I've been trying to hold in my piss.
Right,
Let me go take a piss real quick.
Take a break.
Let me go take a quick intermission.
A few moments later.
All right, we're good.
Let's get back into it.
sir.
So, sorry for the little intermission, but we were talking before about your projects, and you were talking about how some of them you don't fuck with at all, looking forward. But overall, what would you say your most proud body of work is?
My most proud body of work?
Yeah.
I was on the way to New York last night, and I have this mixtape. It's 2 of them. Like, they never came out on DSPs. It was the economic relief series. It was the economic relief tape. Like, the cover looked like the stimulus check. And then I did a tape with DJ Chubby Chub, the Menino era. My dog Ung Dange had named it, and we was listening to it, and I was like, damn, we got to find a way to get this out. if you had to say like an EXITFAME sound where it was like that, like those tapes were it. Like those, I'm proud of those. But the May God Be With You series, I can't just pick one. But if I had to say my favorite May God Be With You, it would definitely be Part 3. It was the last one that my bro got to be involved in. That transition of having features and doing all that kind of stuff. I loved my favorite cover is May God Be With You 3. I love that cover. But now working on Exit Hell, I think this is gonna be the one.
Next one.
Yeah, this one. Mel Go Hard and what we're creating, because like I told you, 2023 has been more about direction. So I'm just finding who I am as an artist and understanding my lane and not trying to do what they're doing, because I'm guilty of that, trying to do what people are doing and what's popular. But this is more of, I'm just giving you Eric, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and as an artist, and just going in that direction. So Exit Hell is definitely doing that.
What can people expect from that project? And when do you have like?
No, we don't got like a real release date. We're definitely going for 2000. Like we're doing real marketing for this, so it's definitely the beginning of 2024. We're not going to drop any more projects this year, but I think I'm releasing 1 or 2 more singles, and the next single, Still Dudley, that comes out. That's about to come out. The video we're shooting next week, but this project, there's a lot of storytelling on it. There's a lot of truth on there, but I'm not trying to like, the violin give you the sad story anymore. Like, they know what time it is, you know what I mean? Like, I don't got to just keep doing that, but it's like not getting away from the pain, but I think God got me here to try to show people light. At the same time, bring awareness to what we are going through. So it's more of painting the harsh realities in story form, giving the solution and not just talking about the problem in more bars. It's more catered to, what's the terminology we use? It's more catered to bars and metaphors. Like it's a hip hop album, but I feel like it's gonna be my best body of work so thus far. Exit Hell, yeah.
How'd you get your lyrics so good?
I told you, hip hop's my religion. Like I studied, I studied rap, studied it. So it's understanding cadence. I've had people around, especially in jail where I really perfected it. Certain people in my life telling me like Shanice, she would always say, slow down. I would always try to, because I want you to hear this, so I'm cramming all these words into something that it could be just simplified with a couple of syllables out of it. Or it was like my dog Winner showing me how 50 would format and pattern his rap back then. That was in 2005. And for any artist, if you ever listen to Biggie's Unbelievable, it's like, live from Bet, Stive's son, the livest one, representing BK to the fullest. Gats, I pull it. He's not just saying words. It sounds like to a person that doesn't know, but if you're an artist, each thing, like Eminem does with thing, each thing is going, it's like, Oh, so I was like, I have to give you patterns. I have to give you things, but understanding that and then turning into your old thing. So, and then Jadakiss, you don't say too much. You just say enough where it's like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. And then you got people like Drake who do at 8 a.m. in Charlotte or 5 a.m. in Toronto, and it's like, I'm actually just telling you what I'm going through today in a I don't know. So when I write a rap, it's kind of like, how would my favorite artist sound on this? I can tell you who your favorite artist is. I could tell you who your influences are by the way you rap. You know what I mean? So that's why you can, he sounds like, be like, maybe it's an influence, but like I said, 2023 is finding that direction, my own sound. Yeah.
What do you feel like, or when do you feel like the point is in making music that you became confident in your rapping capabilities? And were you bad at first? Or were you good
So
right away?
when you upstate in prison, like, cause that's where the whole I take your head off and ring it back, like being in front of all those people, like at the yard and rapping like that, it was like that's where it came from. What's the question exactly again?
Just like, when did you get that confidence in your rapping capabilities?
When people told me I can do this in jail, and people are very like rude and very honest in jail. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you can make these motherfuckers like, and they say it was good, it was like, all right, I won $20 in Canteen on this battle. Oh, they want me. Yo, this dude Rev from Brockton. Yo, he's on C Block. Yo, he'll eat. Yo, he pause, not eat you. Yo, but he'll destroy you. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that nigga's nice, and you be like, go back in the cell, like, you know what I mean? So it was like, and then. Shout out Rev, man. And then you'll beat a person like that who people hold a higher standard to. So it was like, even in jail, it was like, I knew I could do this. You know what I mean? And back to the triple threat days when Peter Parker, Clinton Sparks had us doing that rap battle down there in Fenway. It was like, I won the first 2 rounds. It was like, oh, you can do this. You know what I mean? And I lost to the third. I told you, the guy with the carrot top here. But and so it was like when the battle rap scene, oh man, the evolution of battle rap. We gotta talk about that. But when that first rap scene, like when you had Jay Mills or Loaded Lux, and like when you used to watch them before it turned into what it is now, I was like, oh, I can do that. You know what I mean? It was like, I can do that, and I can rap, and just being successful at doing all that kind of stuff. But last, like 2 years ago, I think with Jadakiss, I remember, shout out Tanyola, he won the first one. And then I got to kick it with Kiss. And then I came back on the second one and won first place. And it was like that performing and the perfecting your craft and understanding it's not just about writing raps down. It's not just about sounding like you're reading. Like, it's about a personality when you rap, like making a person feel what you're saying when you're saying it. And I think that's my meat and potatoes, going to interviews and being on these microphones and you know what I mean? Like, that's my thing. So yeah, like that's when it really happened. That's how it happened, if that answers that question.
So you kind of came from battle rap.
Yeah, definitely. I came from that era, yeah.
That's like your origins.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all did. I mean, as a kid, watching Tupac make Hit 'Em Up, Eazy-E go at Death Row Records, just the essence of hip-hop was created as watching Kool Moe Dee and, you know what I mean, like all those guys go at each other, KRS-One, and hip-hop, it was born off this. And then you take it further, Nas and Jay-Z, Ether, like this. It was always something like, we're probably the only genre of music. Like I don't think Metallica and Aerosmith was like, we gotta make a better fucking song than these guys. Like, they didn't give a fuck. Like, we're the only ones that probably be like, I gotta write some better shit. Like, where that competition is there. Hip hop is competitive. I try to stay away from the competition though. I don't get into all that. I'm prepared to if I have to, but I think a lot of artists, they know what time it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely a worthy opponent. I would say that humbly. Yeah.
What do you think, watching music from where it was when you first started consuming music, versus where it is now? Like, it's like a night and day difference within where the scenes are at. But what are your thoughts on just everything that's changed? Because you've seen a lot of changes within the industry.
It has evolved into something that hip hop, it may not be the number one like music category, if that's what you want to say, but we are definitely the #1 influencer on all genres of music, down to the way people dress, the way they talk, the way they promote, the way everything. But for where it's going, the younger scene and the way they make music, it's like, I can only imagine when it's like when gangster rap first came out in 1994, and you had the guys like the Eric B guys, or the Grandmaster Flash Furious 5 people, and they were hearing it. I remember, this music sucks. This is junk. You know what I mean? And they would be stepping on the CDs and shit like that. And at this point, this new I don't know, I don't want to say depression music, but this new sound that they have, the younger people, the melodic sound and all that, this is what gangster rap was in 94. This is that. So I don't want to be the old guy hating on that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, I embrace hip hop for everything that it is, because I remember when they said what I do sucked, and that music is garbage. That music's not garbage, that's them expressing themselves. So any way of all of this stuff expressing itself is necessary. I would say it's all necessary, because it's all outlets for oppressed people expressing themselves. Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite modern artists?
Favorite modern artists?
Yeah, if there's like 3 that you bump.
When you say a modern artist, what does that mean?
Like people to come out in the past like 5-10 years.
So I could put X in there.
X, yeah. X, like, no, I feel like the Drake, I'm actually, yeah, we'll say in the past 10 years. Like, no, like, Drake's, no Kanye's, people.
No,
that
doesn't, I know. I'm hip. I just wanted to, you know what I mean? XXX and Tentacion, man, is forever for me. I like some work by Uzi. I like some work by him. Some things is just not my wave, but I understand. But some things by him I like. There's a couple of them, man. There's a couple of them. I like the direction kind of like Durk went in. I like some of his stuff. I listen to Durk. I'm not with the whole drill scene, you know what I mean? There's definitely an evil spirit behind that shit, but I understand it, you know what I mean? But some of their type of music like that, Kodak Black, my favorite out of all of them, you know what I mean? Kodak Black, his music is, he's an artist, man. Kendrick wouldn't have had him on his album if he wasn't, but. And there's a few. There's some that's just not right there on my brain, but it's like if I went through my Spotify playlist, I would probably be able to like, yeah, he's good too. But those are the, you know what I mean? If I had to pick anyone right off the top.
Backtracking a little bit, you said you met French Montana, and whose name did you
this
just
is French
say
Montana
that?
Before French Montana is French Montana now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lou
Who was the
Armstrong,
other person you
Lou
said?
Armstrong would have French Montana down here all the time, bro. Like, yo, people don't even know the history. Like, he had, like, French Montana was here. We was on a boat chilling with him. Like, we met Durk before. Durk, he was out in Brockton, haircut. This was this is what they want. Like, yeah, they was all down here. Everybody ran through their little Boston circuit.
Damn, bro.
It's all documented too. You can put that right in YouTube. That shit pops right up.
That shit is crazy, bro. That shit is crazy. When was this? You said like 2011? I think that's when you said?
Between 2009 to 2013. That
somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between all of that. This is when all of those people, like, this is when Max B and French had the wave tapes and all the, you know, that's probably the wrong name, but that era, you know what I mean? Like that era, like we didn't have like hard body Chicago drill rap yet, but it was coming. Yeah. Pause. You know what I mean? Like it was here. And that's when Keith Chief was at the highest of Chicago. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so yep.
How'd you go about navigating the music business?
When you say navigate the music business, because I'm still learning this shit. How'd you start learning? What was the point when you went from half-ass rapper that's just dropping everything aimlessly to
shit is calculated. You got to.
Oh, marketing.
Yeah.
When I understood, like I told you, social media. When I understood algorithm a little bit, I'm not a master at it, you know what I mean? But I do understand that things can get oversaturated. I do understand things with high quality to things with, you know what I mean? And certain times of days when you post, you know what I mean? Like, and then watching patterns. Like, life is a pattern. So I would I learned from my failures. Oh, this was not a good idea to put something out on a Wednesday. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that, like learning, like that was a bad idea, you know, like 3 o'clock in the morning to make this post. That was, but what are you doing it for? Your intention, the intention behind it. If you're playing the game, I'm playing the game. I'm trying to market myself as an artist. I'm trying to get content out. I'm trying to make something and make a brand. So I'm not taking away anything from people. I'm not posting for fucking your likes or your admiration. I feel that too. I respect that. Like, this is just my life. So you're not in the game, but if as an artist, if you're trying to market yourself and you're trying to, you know what I mean, get attention and possibly, you never know, someone can scroll and that right person can change your life because you're playing the game the right way. I'm in that lane. So when I started learning those things and those algorithms and those set times and quality and in realizing less is more, I'm starting to understand it. I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but I understand what's going on. Like, I'm not blind to it. I pay attention to times people post. Like, people that are doing what I want to do, I pay attention. I watch everything. The numbers, the times, the dates, and all that kind of stuff. So I pay attention. That's where that comes from.
What do you feel like your biggest point of growth as an artist has been?
My biggest point?
Yeah.
It was this year. This year, and it's not done yet, but
What
conversation.
do you think it was?
I was sitting with 8-Zip. I think we was driving back from Mohegan Sun. And he finally got to talk like you one-on-one, because sometimes it's like, as artists, it's like, I know what he's trying to do. I know what he wants to do, but he shouldn't have done that. But it ain't really my place on my job to go make a comment on his thing. Like, yeah, you shouldn't have did that at this time. But it's like, when you can talk with a one-on-one person from a relationship standpoint, and not like, and you're a person that could take constructive criticism, and it was like finding your sound. And it was like, he works with Hum Beats, he works with Showtime. And how do you think these rappers get that, you know, like Jadakiss type beat, Millie's type beat? You know what I mean? Because they have a sound and they found it. And talking with people like my dog Got Work, like this year, man, like I feel like God has been screaming at me through people like Got Work, E-Double, and Mel Go Hard, and it's like, your sound, you know what I mean? It's like I told you, there's a million of them. There's a million of those type of rappers. We don't need that from you. Understand your age. Understand what you stand for. Understand your audience. Cater to them, because those are the ones who are going to take care of you. You all over here trying to, like, I remember shout out Sheik, you know what I mean? We had a video, and probably my only video where we had ass and everything in the video. We had all that in the video, and I remember people like, that's not you. Like, I even had my man Bobby, Deacon Bobby at the church, his wife come up to me, he was like, we don't need that from you. And it's like, it's real like that. It's like, that's not you. You're here for something different. Understanding your sound, and that's what Exit Hell would be about. It's more, this is, finally, you could say that's an Exit Fame type, you know what I mean? So if that answers that question.
I do. It do. What do you feel like the biggest components in the finding your sound was? How did you get it on lock? And was there like a
I
specific
still don't.
song?
I'm not done finding Eric's sound. I'm not done finding Eric's sound. But it definitely comes. Pal, that sounds crazy too. Cameron got us all screwed up playing this pause shit.
Yeah, I be saying that shit all the fucking time. Bro.
Yeah, but it comes from failures. You know, I got a team that I work with the videos, and I had somebody make a comment. My last video I just dropped, great. In the video, when the original promo came out, it looks like what Exit Fame's about. He's in front of a church. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that Tupac complex where it's like we get to hit him up and we get the Dear Mama at the same time thing. Like, you know what I mean? That Gemini type of Kanye type shit. And we get it. And I feel conviction spoke to my heart. This is for me, not for everybody else. I feel like if you were an Exit Fame follower, a supporter, and you went to Great, and then you watched that video, great video. That guy is an excellent camera guy. Excellent, great. Brandon, great work. But the lyrics was like, what the fuck, man? It was like, why are you... There was no hope. When you listen to Exit Fame, like I told you, if I had to describe Exit Fame in one word, it's hope. I didn't give you any hope in that. You gave us the same shit that a million people are giving us. You know, it's like, come again, nigga. You know what I mean? Come again. Like, try again. But are we still at the stage where you got to try again? We expect that you're supposed to know your audience and know your sound. But if you ain't playing the game, you're not playing the game. Do whatever you want. But expect to be in the back of the bus then. You know what I mean? If you contending and you know what I mean, you in the playoffs, play like you in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like practice, work, win, you know, dominate, like stuff like that. And if you're gonna play like that, then play the way you're supposed to play. Like, you know, like that's how I felt about that. And this year, like I told you, if I had to define this year in one word, it was direction. I know what Exit Fame is supposed to do. I know now. You know what I mean? And I follow conviction in my heart when God talks to me, and it's like some things you gotta, like, saying no more. Like, yeah, that might be a good look, but that ain't for me. I'm definitely a person that gets caught up in the social media and getting the likes and the popularity, like I said to you. I'm always gonna be transparent, and I can admit when I'm wrong. And it's like, understand what's for you. So that's, if that answers that question. Yeah.
How crucial do you think it is having people that will give you honest feedback and also just being honest with yourself? Because you're saying that, isn't that the song you dropped like 3 days ago?
What?
The one that you were just talking about, the Great?
Yeah, Great.
Yeah. You dropped the song like 3 days ago, right?
Well, I mean, that was already on May God Be With You For.
The video,
yeah.
You dropped the video like 3 days ago. Obviously, the song itself came out like 2 months ago almost at this point. But having people that will sit there and be honest with you and be like, bro, this ain't you. Like, how crucial do you think that is? And also within yourself.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't have too many people. I got a lot of people around me that have lives, that they have lives too. I know they love me unconditionally. I know they're with me. And at this point, they're expecting you to know what the fuck you're supposed to be doing too. You know what I mean? And when I go out of bounds or something like that, I might get a call from somebody who's I haven't seen in a month or two, but because of our relationship, it just seems like I was talking to you yesterday. And they won't say you're not, but be like, what was that? You know what I mean? Like, they watching you, and they're like, and they want the best for you. So it's very important to have people around you, but I think what we all have around us is our failures. You know, moments that made you feel low about yourself, moments where you fucked up, and moments that made you think, and it's like, damn, why'd I do that? I love those moments, and I keep them stored. And I listen to those. I listen to those moments, and that was a moment for me. You're not gonna stop getting them if this is a game you're playing and this is what you're chasing. It's definitely way more disappointments than celebration, but I listen to my failures. I listen to my experiences, conversations that I had from people, watching people doing what I want to do. Yeah, so having that awareness about yourself, like having that awareness, because there's not always going to be somebody there that's going to tell you like, that wasn't good. If you go through all the may God be with yous, we could probably, this is a fact. If you go through all the may God be with yous, we can probably, all of those songs on all of those projects, 70% of those songs were not necessary. So we could probably make the real May God Be With You with all of them, taking 2 songs from here, 1 song from here, this song. Now we got a project, and maybe that's what we will call an album. But you see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like you learning, like, that ain't it. But because it's you, because it's yours, it was like, nah, this is it. Like, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. And I learn and live for those moments. I don't like going through them, but they're necessary.
What do you feel like your biggest screw up in your career has been, music-wise? Like something that you did in music that you absolutely did it and then completely went the opposite way you thought it would go.
I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to do anything like that, but may God be with you for, I had a lot of people tell me a certain direction I should have went in, and I chose to go this direction and not listen to people, you know, and those are unnecessary experiences that I went through, relationship-wise, and I think it could have been bigger than what it was. I think certain things weren't necessary on that project. And I'm just happy Exit Hell is here to redeem what I was doing, how I feel personally, because there might be people out there that love that project. I love certain things about that project. I'm not going to take that away from there, but I just got to do what I'm doing. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah.
So taking criticism could backfire also. Sounds like it did in this situation.
Taking criticism could backfire?
Yeah, it sounds like in this situation it did.
No, I think taking criticism, it can't backfire. Taking criticism, it's like sorting through what's good for you and sorting through what's bad. It's like, okay, I understand that. I get that. But if you know your direction, now criticism will make sense. If I know where I'm going, you know what I mean? It's like, if I know where I'm going, if the GPS is telling me to go this way, and it's like these things, now it makes sense. But if I have no direction and no guidance of what I'm doing and I'm just shooting aimlessly, none of this shit makes sense. You know what I mean? So criticism can't backfire on you if you know what you're doing with it. That's the way I would see it, if that answers that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. What's your thoughts overall? We're coming up on the last couple questions. I don't even think you realize we're already out like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good conversation.
Like an hour and a half. It is a good question. I mean, why did I say good question? Good conversation.
Right.
Overall Massachusetts scene, though, because you watch this shit for a while from the sound of it. You've seen fucking, from the sound of it, before you got locked up, you saw Millie's when Millie's was like a nobody and then came out and we're like, what the fuck?
Right.
But you've seen a lot of growth probably, and how everybody always pushed that narrative that Boston's full of hate, blah, blah, blah. You've seen, now I feel like that narrative isn't really a thing anymore. But just overall, everything that you've seen, like growth within the scene, how do you feel about everything? And what are some major changes that you've witnessed?
I was talking with Stax DeVito. Was it Stax DeVito or who was I talking with yesterday? Damn.
Brain fart.
Damn. Nah, I was talking with a good brother last night in New York. No, I was talking. Yep, it was on the way, and I was talking with the artist. It wasn't Stax. It was somebody else, and he was talking about Connecticut, the Connecticut rap scene, and he was like, "We don't got nobody." It was, and I was like, and then I listened to him, and I was like, "Oh." And then I really seen how far Massachusetts has come when I've seen how far Massachusetts has came after when I looked at another town who's not. When the realization was put out there, it was like, oh,
They don't have like anybody.
oh. I was like, no, they got Sholey, like, you know, like when he was saying, I was like, Fuego Bass and all them, you know, and I was like, wow, we do got Millie's, Joyner, Bia, Token, Smoke Boja, you know what I mean, Last Days, and these names, like I was like, oh, we got it, but I said it in another interview. I feel like Massachusetts in a whole, we are in our own renaissance. We are our own overseas of the rap industry. You know, this is the only place in Mass, like it has our own circuit. These other rappers from other towns, New York, California, Atlanta, Houston, Miami, whatever, they come up here and eat this shit up. We can hit every single part of the whole New England and eat. You know what I mean? Because why? Because hip-hop is here. You know what I mean? We're forced to be reckoned with, but maybe some people we're in our own way. Maybe we like got to do the Atlanta thing and come together more. I tried to do, like, even on May God Be With You 4, putting King Bricks and 8-Zip and me on one record, showing that unity. And more people are doing it, you know what I mean? Doing the things like that. It's not just me, but doing collaborations. And I might have a resource that is good for you, but it came to me. I ain't gonna give this nigga that shit. I don't want him doing more than me. We gotta get out of that. It's like, I'm gonna throw that your way because this is probably good for you. You know what I mean? And it's a good karma thing. But Massachusetts as a whole, we're in a renaissance of music in our own time where it's like, you know, for the first time we're having these hip-hop shows, we're doing these things down here. And just to have a little piece of it and be a part of it in my little way, you know, it's like, it's motivating to become bigger. But I'm proud of the Massachusetts music scene, though. We're definitely here, you know.
That shit is crazy how far everything has come, bro. That shit is crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
definitely.
Second to last question, bro. What if actually I'm gonna have a couple more. I'm not gonna put a number limit on the questions because some other shit will probably pop into my head.
Right.
But if there was someone right now, they're starting out music, they got a blank canvas, they don't know where the fuck to go, they haven't even gotten in the booth for the first time. How would you advise them to get into the industry, and how would you advise them to get started?
I get that sometime from people, and it's like, well, the first thing I ask them is, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? Is like kids play doctor, like kids play house, kids can play church, like just like kids. People can play rapper too. You know what I mean? So it's like, is this just a phase? Like, you seen it on TikTok and it's like, this is what you want to do? Or are you an artist at heart because like it runs in your genes and it's in your spirit, and it's like, and you want an outlet because ultimately I feel like music is a solution to people's lives. When I listen to music or I put something on, it's because it makes me feel something. You know what I mean? It makes me think about something. It helps me cope with something. Music has to be a solution to something for it to work. So it's like, if I had to say anything to any artist that wanted to like make music, it's like, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing it for? You know, and that will, once you understand what you're doing it for, kind of like where I'm at right now, 4 years later as EXITFAME, it's like finding your sound, finding your audience. Those are very important. I wish I could have did that in the beginning. Would have saved a lot of money, a lot of time, you know what I mean? But if I could give game to anybody, what are you doing it for? Your sound, what you stand for, and yeah, those things. That's what I would tell an artist.
What would you advise them absolutely not to do?
That's a tricky question. The whole pay for play, paying for shows, and all that kind of stuff. Like, I've done it. I've paid for opportunities. I've done things like that have brought me absolutely nothing. Know what you're investing in. You know, I can only give a person, I don't have the answers to hip hop. I can only give you my experience of thus far. Don't just rush to buy a feature, because one thing I learned that it's relationships. It's building relationships with other artists. It's very important, because you don't want to look just like a customer to another artist when you was coming to them with your heart and your soul and you're ready to invest because you think this thing's gonna change your life, and they're looking at you like, I gotta be over here, but I need this money. You know what I mean? You want it to be somebody where it's like, I rock with you. I want to help you. I want to do that. I think that would be more important than just throwing money out the window at something. So, and that comes from, you can't skip the line. We were just talking about that, people trying to pay for an interview and stuff like that. It's like, it ain't gonna work. I did it. I tried to do it. And this is coming from a person who has failed at that. So earn your way. Earn your way, make your name. Artists like Nay Speaks and Key, you know what I mean? Like, I watch what those two have done, and it's like, you know, it's just, or Feed the Family. It's like, it's just natural. I'm talking with my dog, High Knee from Feed the Family. You know, that whole pay for play and this and that. It's like, we get it, but it ain't gonna work. Like, you can't skip the line with this. You know what I mean? There is no elevator unless, like, just some sensation and it just works out. But most likely it's gonna be a lot more disappointments than celebration and a lot of resilience. But that's what I would say to our artists.
Pay play don't work.
Yeah.
Pay to play do not work, bro.
It gets you a moment.
Yeah. A moment. And then you asked out a couple bands.
But, and then what happened to me with doing that, and this is a person that's been a victim of my bad choices. Now it's like, now everything got to make sense. Okay, you're on a huge giant stage in New Jersey and performing in front of, you know, like, whatever, 10,000 people or whatever. And then next week, you're at a bar and grill performing for 3 people. It's like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah.
It gotta make sense. It gotta make sense. And I'm only giving those games because these are failures that I've made. Earn your way. You gotta earn your way.
I love the way that you said that, bro. That was definitely gonna be a reel. That shit is definitely gonna be a reel, bro. Shit. This is about to be the last thing though, bro. Fucking it is October 8th, 2023. Mm-hmm. October 8th, 2024. You said this whole year was just, to sum it up, direction. What could people expect from EXITFAME next year?
For once, I can answer that question. I have direction on what I'm trying to do. Exit hell before I exit. May God Be With You 5 would be the last piece to that series. And understanding what I'm doing. I can't predict the future. I don't know what God has for me, but I know I got these 3 children that I need to be in their lives. I got a daughter that's probably gonna want a car soon. And I got kids coming right behind her. Time with your family. These are the profitable. I would say that 2024, no matter what, will be profitable for me. Whether I'm working and saving checks, or this turns around and I become a commodity that people feel like is a solution for them and they're willing to invest in. My clothing brand would be more time put into it. And yeah, it would be a profitable year, saving money and stuff like that. That's what 2024 looks like for me.
You got one more question for me off of that I've been asking people. From what you've seen so far, what are the biggest ways to profit as an artist? If you're an artist trying to make money and you have no idea how to make money in this industry whatsoever, what would you advise people is the easiest way for them to get into it?
Get your paperwork right. I was talking with King Bricks.
He talked about it on here too.
I was talking about with King Bricks. That boy know his stuff. He know his shit. I'm learning it. Like, get your paperwork together. Get your ASCAP, your BMI. All of these different things. Like, he was explaining to me, like, there's different checks. Like, not just DistroKid or United Masters. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to get your music off. Like, kind of like what Steve Harvey said in that motivational speech. You know what I mean? If you got 5 people, I forgot exactly what he is, but if you can sell one thing and make $10 off of it, keep doing that over and over again. You know what I mean? Like that philosophy. People do buy hard copies. People love to support. Your merchandise is huge. Having a website is huge. You know what I mean? And it sounds so easy saying this all in one sentence. So it's like, get the paperwork together, make sure your music and all your stuff is registered, all that kind of stuff. That's something for the first time on Exit Hell I'll be doing. And merchandise. Merchandise is very profitable. Something that I'm not always consistent on, but trying to do everything at once, it don't work like that. You know what I mean? You got to put focus on one thing at a time. And yeah, that's what I would say.
Fire end note. You got anything else you want to add on?
Nah, man. It's gonna be a good Sunday. You know, I'm just chilling. I'm happy to be here, bro.
I'm happy to have you here, bro.
I came back from New York and I was like, yeah, we got to do this. You
Bro.
know, I like the professionalism of it.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And I got to give you your flowers once again, bro. Like, man to man, proud of you, dog. Like, hearing your story, hearing the shit that you've been through, seeing where you're at right now. Salute to you for your sobriety. Salute to you for fucking how serious you're taking the music, refining the direction of your career this past year. Like, genuinely, man to man, proud of you.
Appreciate you, brother. Proud of you guys, man.
Even though I met you like 2 hours ago. But, bro, this has been a good-ass episode.
Yeah,
Tag
definitely.
yourself and let them know where they can find your music.
Which camera?
This one right here.
You already know it's Exit Fame, EXITFAME. I'm on every platform, man. Show love, support the real, support's free.
Y'all know the vibes.
You know
I don't
that.
even got to say no more. Y'all, make sure to go check out that newest tape, Part 4. Go check that shit out. Go follow Mr. Exit Fame on Instagram. Check out his music on all platforms. Y'all already know the drill. I'm tired of saying this shit. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. I'm not going to go too much more in the detail with that shit because I'm tired of this YouTube infomercial shit. But lastly, go vote for us in the Boston Music Awards. I got to go remember to say shit at the beginning of the episode.
Definitely.
But y'all know the vibes. This has been episode 83. Next week, we'll be on with Crispy Productions, videographer, to switch it up because we've been doing a lot of artists. But appreciate everybody that's watched this episode. Purple World, we out this bitch.
When I die, they gon' call me great. While I'm alive, why these niggas hate? I'm just trying to get my people straight.